Welcome to the Create with Katrina Julia show by Fit Life Creation, where we talk all the things on wellness, faith, marketing, business, and travel to create a life and business you love. I've been there, friend. I've walked from fear to faith, self-hate to love, corporate to calling, and bondage to freedom, along with transformation in every area of my life. I'm right here with you, walking along on my own path to creating. So tune in so that you learn how to create a life and business you love, hands-on. Let's create it. Welcome to 7 ways to market and monetize your business online and in the real world. I'll be sharing some starting points, platforms, content creation, and more. Let's talk. I don't know about you, but I am all about tangible tips, tools, and tech to help you take action and get results now in marketing and monetizing your business, whether you are an entrepreneur, creator, brand, and or firm. I am completely over college classes and textbooks and theory and no real world application. Oh, yes. And I am definitely over meetings in corporate America or in brands that accomplish nothing and then we repeat the same thing on the next meeting. So take note. How about a hands-on session that you may tune into and have multiple windows open to apply what I share now? Yes, I am telling you, listen to the episode, pause it, apply. After all, haven't we heard that applied knowledge is power? Or like I like to say, create it. Isn't it time that we all actually practice what we preach? So let's jumpstart transformation, shall we? I recommend you set about 15-minute increments per area or about 2 hours straight so you can take action on every item here or at least on the top 3. That is my pro tip. Anytime I take time to listen to anything online or attend a live event, I have a minimum of 3 takeaways and 3 action items, and I set an intention before. It is time to show up like a boss. 7 ways to market and monetize. It's time to simplify and amplify marketing and monetizing your business online and live. You may be the best writer, online educator, speaker, creator, brand, or firm, but if no one knows about you, how will you actually make money and have a business? Many of us did not grow up with entrepreneurs or in environments or with brands or firms where marketing was avidly practiced, or even especially now as the last 7+ years, marketing has shifted quite a bit. So we get to shift our mindsets and equate being seen with service. So it is time to shine. With experience in more than 7+ industries in corporate, from strategy to marketing to finance, prior to becoming a full-time entrepreneur in 2011, I transition daily in this area too. I am right here with you. Whether it's been as an MBA, as a CPA, with certifications in nutrition, and or with learning myself digital marketing starting back in 2014 massively, I invite you to enter in this experience as a teachable student. I've come to accept and love that I am always learning. In today's online saturated world, you either get to learn how to stand out or work with someone in the press or marketing that helps you stand out among the noise as an authentic, credible, relatable expert that will help provide the transformation with avid testimonials. So, since we're on a show, let's talk about podcasting. Yes, there are so many podcasts, but that is an avenue that you could enter in with podcasts. I see people left and right breaking barriers on podcasts, on iTunes, on Spotify, on Anchor, and the list goes on. I started my podcast several years ago when I was co-working at a WeWork right before the pandemic. But at the same time, my podcast has evolved. There's snapshots, there's more storytelling. And last year in 2022, we actually hit the top 100 of marketing on Spotify. And since I have the tenacity of a pit bull, I was compared once to a pit bull one time in a boardroom where within 5 minutes of meeting the official finance expert for the board, he said to me that I would be perfect in this role as the audit exec for the company at the time because of my tenacity. And I said, wow, you got that within 5 minutes of meeting me. And he said, I've been around quite a while and I know how to recognize character and gifts and talents of people pretty quickly. So, a quick way you could start on a podcast would be start with identifying some of the things that that people ask you all the time, whether it's on social media, whether it's in emails. And then you could take that and start basically crafting or creating different episodes that you could list on the podcast. Number 2, engage with podcasts themselves. Leave reviews on podcasts. Tag people that you have left a review. Tag them on what you learned or what you're applying. This is something I do readily all the time. Join podcast-related Facebook groups. With Earmark, for example, you can find so many different podcasts throughout their platform as well, if that is how you found this episode. You can share your posts, you can share your podcast episodes from your podcast off the platform onto social media, like doing an Instagram reel, like sharing on your email newsletter, your media page, your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your YouTube. For example, with my podcast via Headliner, the episodes are automatically published on YouTube as well. And then you can apply to be a guest speaker on different podcasts. That's something I also do via podcast.com or Podmatch. So go big or go home. You can take 1 to 3 actions there. Then think about ways to keep yourself both self and or group accountable. And then also keep in mind that we often learn as we go, and perfection is a lie, and progress over perfection. And just keep in mind who your target audience is, who you're speaking to. Be relatable, be creative, be authentic, share stories, share results. So if you're thinking about starting your podcast, I'm going to share a couple more tips, and then you may want to hit pause before we go to the next way to market and monetize. So specifically, creating or growing your own podcast. We all start on the first episode. Shocker, I know. Create it now. I used to use Podbean, which is amazing, and links to iTunes. And then a couple years ago, I switched over to Anchor, which is free. Yes, 100% free. And now I have over 600 episodes that link to Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and over, I think, 30 reviews. And I've learned a ton as I go. Some of what I learned is create themes for your episode. For example, my podcast is Create a Life and Business You Love with Freedom. So I tend to go in themes and series like wellness, marketing, business, money, travel, etc. Feature guests sooner rather than later. Getting guests on your show, whether it's for short snapshots or longer live interviews, will help get more people listening to your show, because guess what? They also share their own episodes. Create a series. Netflix, move over. Entrepreneurship, value add on wellness, marketing, money, business, travel is the new hot show. So pro tips, create a related series that creates momentum and helps you monetize. So if you're doing things, for example, right now is also very heavily audit and or tax season in the finance world. So you could create your tips on being audit ready and make that into a series, or tips on being tax ready, things that your accountant wants you to know, things that drive your accountant crazy. If you are creating online courses or a monthly ongoing program like I have, then you can again lead series or episodes to that and then include a voiceover ad in there. So, another example is when I've done travel series, traveling full time 2020 through 2022, I had so much travel content and I'm finally getting through all of it in social media on all the channels. Another example is our series on social media and influencer marketing, which will avidly help you radically transform your marketing from the inside out beyond this episode. Everyone wins with backlinks and also getting features and integrations. It helps with domain authority. And the thing is with podcasts and blogging, it helps people coming back. It helps to have people coming back over and over and over. So the next area is join Facebook groups and or online communities and contribute regularly. So I first started joining aligned Facebook groups in different areas with how and where I serve back in 2019. I wish I would have done it sooner. It's such a great way to share who you are and what you offer and to create a community. Organically, this leads you to your growth on platforms online and other websites and social media and regular referrals. So, for example, some of the Facebook groups I'm involved in is various ones, in wellness, in finance and accounting, Press Trip Club, influencers on Instagram, Airbnb. And then recently I found a Facebook group that is called We Meet Wednesdays, which is an incredible networking group that led to me finding their Hopin, which is a tech tool you can use to set up live virtual events beyond Kajabi, and we get to market and share our best business tips, our best personal tips, learn different topics, and share our offer for that week. Free Facebook greats are Free Facebook groups are great. However, if you are part of paid communities and masterminds, another perk is typically a Facebook community or a circle community. Some examples I've had in the past is Boss Babe, and or currently I'm with Social Curator, and we get to share regularly in the community online. We have live events and so much more. And I regularly get a minimum of typically about $15,000 worth of proposals from this avenue alone. And then I also regularly post collaborations like features, launches for online courses, and business to business work as well. So, some pro tips. You could identify 1 to 3 Facebook groups you may join. Definitely check out how many people they have, what kind of content. Is it really, really focused and valuable? Do they have specific rules to keep from spam, etc.? Make sure you contribute at least once a week. So before I post an ask in any group, I always intentionally first respond to at least 3 people's requests in some way, shape, or form, or encourage them. Decide when you are ready to outsource it to a virtual assistant. Sometimes you may decide this to free up your time too. You will figure out what groups work best with time, and do not be afraid to shift what groups you are part of. That is absolutely what I have done exponentially. Add your profile to influencer marketing platforms. Whether you are a entrepreneur, creator, side hustler, brand, and or firm, influencer marketing is an incredible way to market your business. And really at its core, when it's done correctly, it is simply word of mouth. And you may definitely want to check out my Influencer Marketing Boss series on the blog and on the show towards the end of 2022, and or go to bit.ly/influencer marketing like a boss. And that's all in the link in the show notes. And also you can check out my free webinar on influencer marketing with insights into the course and more. Some of my favorite platforms to connect with influencers and brands include Activate, Perlu, Plug, Tribe, obviously, and ours. I researched over 50 plus platforms before creating our own. And not to mention, I'm constantly exploring and learning different things. And keep in mind, not every platform will be great for you, whether you are a creator or a brand and or a firm. So always, test and then give it time. So some pro tips: add your profile to at least one platform. Research 1 to 3 new ones weekly and or outsource. Use influencer management or agencies to help. Apply to speaking gigs and or creating education aligned partnered platforms. One of the reasons why I regularly read, learn, and invest in programs myself is because the return on investment is always 10 to infinity fold. And oftentimes, when we serve or give in one area, it doesn't mean it comes back in the same avenue. This is a perfect example of showcasing and sharing this episode, and also a recent platform I discovered, Earmark CPE, continuing professional education. So as a CPA, a certified public accountant, I get to keep up my education that qualifies for CPE via various avenues. And that's, as a participant, that is as an author and or as a publisher, and that's online or live. And as I was exploring and updating my, license, being back in the States, I always ask, what is the business model, or what is the availability or the approach to be able to submit CPE? Because yes, I love to take continuing ed and learn, but then I also love to serve and give. And then the byproduct or the benefit of that is marketing. It's increased awareness. It's more people coming to the show. It's more people coming to the blog, to the website, etc. So I definitely encourage you, depending on what field you are in, whether you're in accounting, whether you are a real estate agent, whether you are a lawyer or an attorney, whether you are an engineer, you can partner with specific focused platforms in those respective fields. And that provides incredible, authentic, and organic marketing. And this also helps you align to further speaking opportunities, because other people end up connecting with you, and they know readily if, they see your value, they hear your value, and if you will align to their audience. So that can have you building your speaking business as well. Another platform you can check out is also Speaker Hub. They also aggregate different aspects or different opportunities to actually be a speaker, like Speaker Hub, like Gig Salad, and Speaker Match. So remember, as you're going through these specific areas that I'm talking about, marketing and monetizing your business, then absolutely hit pause if you want to focus in on an area, or go back and re-listen. And you can absolutely come back and revisit this episode over and over and over. So the next part is, let's get into setting up your own live events and workshops. Connecting online is great. We are all so grateful for 2020 and the ability that we actually had Zoom and Kajabi, another all-in-one marketing tool that I use, and so many other avenues to connect online or via tools like WhatsApp. But let's not ever forget the priceless art of connecting in real life, shall we? Let's pause for the cause. One thing that, although I absolutely love travel and I love traveling the world, and I loved being able to do that 2020 through mid 2022, I also crave community and having a base in one place. And that is something I absolutely recognized with Atlanta years ago. And that is something I am definitely feeling and experiencing the last several months, whether it is via groups like ATL Girl Gang or Buckhead Business Association and more. So think about, what are people always asking you about? How about taking that online community live? You could use platforms as an example like Eventbrite, easily and effortlessly to start. You could share free events. You could offer a donation option. You could also list experiences on Airbnb experiences. That's also something I have done as well. Some pro tips include sharing your live events on social, adding those events to your highlights and your Instagram link in bio, doing an aggregate link in bio like I have, where it's one link, but it leads you to 7 different links that you can create via platforms like Kajabi, like Later Media, and more. Align your blogs and your shows back to what I shared earlier. The other thing you want to think about is absolutely research local marketing avenues for your city and ways to serve, whether you are showcasing your event or ways that you can expand your network. So I've definitely done that via ATL Girl Gang. And then I recently also became vice president of marketing for the Buckhead Business Association, of course, to serve, but I also know that's going to plug me into a lot more with the community and people. So list an experience on Airbnb is another thing that you can do to further market your services or offerings, whether that's financial planning, whether that's content creation, and more. Did you think Airbnb only has homes? No. They offer opportunities for you to list experiences too. This is a great way for you to leverage and learn. And typically, every city has a community group. And several years ago, pre-pandemic, I was the community leader in Atlanta, and it also offers more networking opportunities and insider insight to Airbnb and meetings. And through that, I actually ended up getting an Airbnb adventure where I was hosted as a surprise gift. And I was able to go to Cancun, where we started, then to Holbox and Valladolid, which had been on the list, including visiting the Pink Lake as well. So share below what you did, or think about, share or tag me in a review, or tag me in social, list on your review what you did to create it. Like, for example, did you think about and did you set up and launch a podcast? Are you inviting guests? Did you join a Facebook group and start sharing and giving and also suggesting? Did you start writing or maybe launch your blog or launch your email sequence? Did you maybe decide to create an introductory opt-in, where basically people, what an opt-in is simply that they give you their email, say for a free guide of an answer to several questions that people typically ask. So if, again, that goes back to like tax tips or audit tips or creator tips, and that way you build your email list, and then you can invite them into a, say, monthly program where they pay you a monthly subscription for pro tips on whatever your area is. Have you set up your profile perhaps on a new influencer marketing platform? How easy was it to set up your potential speaker profile on one of the tools that I mentioned? Are you all set up maybe for a live event or an online event, whether it's Eventbrite, whether you're listing on Kajabi or an Airbnb experience? Are you thinking about perhaps starting or creating your first opt-in, your first podcast episode, or maybe your first online course or your first monthly subscription online to A, free up your time, and or B, add another revenue stream so you're not strictly focusing on solely B2B with only you or your team? I cannot wait to hear. I am not here simply to share and inform. I'm here to help you create it, a life and business you love with freedom. So Tag me on social with any takeaways that you got from this episode at Katrina Julia Fit, at Fit Life Creation. Leave a review on the show, and I will absolutely shout you out on the next episode. And I can't wait to see how you create it. Because remember, friends, create, transform, and inspire. You are born to. If you are looking for an incredible program on a monthly basis that combines everything you need to create and scale a life and business you love, you are going to love what I created with Subkit on a monthly basis. But first, if you're tuning in for the first time, I want you to know a little bit more about me. And you can find the link in the show notes as well on Subkit and everything you want to know. So, first, I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur, athlete, traveler, creator, and CEO who has transformed every area of life from the inside out since 2010 and continues to, shifting from fear to faith, self-hate to love, corporate to calling, pain to purpose, lies to love, and bondage to freedom. I've worked with 15,000 plus entrepreneurs online and live, traveled the world full-time 2020 through 2022, worked with brands like NBC, Airbnb, WeWork, Victoria's Secret, and aim to help over 1 million mission-based brands and entrepreneurs create and scale what they love with freedom. What does that mean? Imagine you having a clear roadmap and creating and scaling step by step to progress in your life with freedom, with wellness, with marketing, with business, with travel. Everything I walk through, everything that I share, everything that I've leveraged or make money from, I help you create it too. So it all matters, whether it's rising to be and doing one more thing on the hard days or working on projects like NBC Apprentice or Airbnb, it's all big and adds up. So I want to encourage you to hashtag create it now. And what does the program with Subkit look like? First, when you click the link in the show notes, Create It Like a Boss, you will see on the second link the monthly Create It. And one of the betas that I'm running right now is an intro deal on $44 a month, which is basically less than a smoothie bowl or a trip to Starbucks per month. And you will get to create it with exclusive access and discounts, updates on the 75 plus tools every single month. That means all the tools that I'm testing, whether it's something like Subkit or the new tools that I'm 10xing my social media automatically across platforms, new creative creations that I'm beta testing and I want your feedback, an exclusive newsletter for you getting started, and updates to the 7-day online challenge that covers wellness, wealth, business, and travel. If you want a plus experience, you get all of that plus the Create It Summit quarter. Every single quarter that includes over 50 plus courses to take a even deeper dive, plus a vision workshop to really align to your goals from the inside out, updated every single quarter, and a group session with me on a specific theme, from jumpstart to transformation to unleashing inspiration to money matters to smart social media to crazy confidence. So a brand new theme every single month, and you get access to all the replays. Then if you want a VIP experience, you can get all the above plus guaranteed features, lives, and co-launches, one per quarter, and one-on-one sessions that I will do with my VIPs every single month. At the bottom of that page on the Create It Monthly, you will see incredible content as well, like the Subkit feature on Get to Know Me, my faith series, freebies, how to find over $500,000 daily in opportunities, global retreats, insights into my almost 2 years of full-time travel, 7 steps to build a presence online, and the Lifestyle Brand Like a Boss course coming in June, and a lot more. So can't wait to see you on the inside, and let's create it. and chats on faith, wellness, money, marketing, business, and travel so you create a life and business you already. Head on over to the blog, the podcast, and the freebies to jumpstart your transformation. If you're ready to dive into the online courses, the live events, or the retreat, and if you want to create with our community on an even deeper level, definitely check out our internships, our influencer collaborations, management, and brand engagement. Let's create it.